Hey guys, and welcome to the Maple Mafia channel. We're gonna bring you a walkthrough of Greenhouse 29, so get excited. When it comes to Japanese maples, we love them. We love them here on the Maple Mafia channel. We'll bring you exclusive content here on this channel, but also make sure you're subscribed to our regular channel, the MrMaple Show. Guys, we're MrMaple.com. Family mail order business, we ship directly to your door. We appreciate if you shopped with us. Guys, we're gonna show you this greenhouse. Get excited. Hope you have a good time today. So guys, coming over here, we're starting off here with Tsukasa Silhouette. These are some 1 gallon Tsukasa Silhouettes, and Tsukasa Silhouette is vigorous, it's heat tolerant. It has that columnar habit. If you give it more sunlight, more shade, it may get some width to it, but sunlight, this thing stays super narrow. It has a great fall color too, underrated for its fall color. Guys, I'm new to learning this gimbal, so I'm gonna get better with it. But right here, we got Kryptonite. This is one of, I see 3 Kryptonites here in Red Panda that are still here from open house. I mean, there's lots of gems everywhere that people didn't come, even though we had 400 or 500 people, we had enough Kryptonites to go around, which was awesome. Now Kryptonite, this time of the season, starts to become more and more prominent with that yellow-green on dark green variegation. It looks almost like Manya no Sato, and you see what we're talking about by making that comparison. You know, it may not look as prominent in the springtime, but right now you're really starting to get that just starkly different leaf, a little more elongated than Makao Yatsubusa, a little more narrow, with that unique Manya no Sato like sport variegation. This was found as a sport on Makao Yatsubusa, and guys, we love the selection. Pretty spectacular. Now guys, I'm learning how to use this gimbal a little bit, so bear with me as I'm learning. There's a lot of cool trees in this greenhouse, and we're going to show you a bunch of cool things. You never know what you're going to find. Coming up here, there's some 3 gallon Ryusens. That thing cascades and has a strongly weeping habit. It's heat tolerant as well, good red fall color, but you can stake this thing up as high as you want it and just let it cascade down like a fountain. Now, you may be asking, what the heck is that behind that? That's Lillian's Jewel. And look at how pink that is right there. I mean, you just got almost a complete sport pink happening right there on that 2 gallon. Lillian's Jewel, selection by our good friend Jonathan Savlich, named after his daughter, Lillian. I mean, just look at this. It's just crazy in that variegation. Look at this, where you get the pink right here, but you also get some white and some red. That is unreal. Lillian's Jewel gets about 6 to 8 foot, semi-pendulous habit. It can handle a lot of heat, but I do recommend giving some protection from the hot afternoon sun for the best growth rate. Lillian's Jewel, one of my all-time favorite Japanese maples. Guys, I'm thinking about doing a podcast soon on the MrMaple Show, and this MrMaple Show podcast on our favorite podcast platform, on my top 25 all-time favorite Japanese maples. Now, if I do that, it's subject to change at some point, because there's always new cultivars, and different times of the year, trees speak to you differently. So, but guys, my all-time top 25, I think I'm doing it pretty soon. Lillian's Jewel would definitely fit on my top 25, by the way. Let's get up and show you all some of these cool items. As you see through here, we got a nice summer gold right here. Summer Gold selection by Ghirardelli Nursery. I say pair it with everything, because if you see, look how the contrast that it has between even the Makao Yatsubusa down here and right here. You've got stark different colors. That darker green on Makao Yatsubusa, that lighter color on Summer Gold. It brings out every color in the landscape. Now, as we're coming through here, Hot Blonde. These Hot Blondes, they grow fast. It's a selection we made here at MrMaple. Sorry, still working on that gimbal. It's a selection that grows fast. It's super heat tolerant. Guys, it's one of the best, most heat tolerant yellows you can find when it comes to a Japanese maple. It's a hybrid that happened with Acer Shirosonum aureum. And you can even get some of the salmon pink new growth. Check that out, that pink new growth. Salmon pink new growth. And then in the summer, you got the salmon pink new growth over top of this yellow. We're talking a tree that's going to end up getting close to 10 to 12 feet in height in 10 years, faster than a foot of growth per year. It's vigorous, it jumps out there, and can handle more heat than any other yellow in the nursery trade. Now, something that needs some protection from the hot afternoon sun, check out this Amagashiguri. That's a 4 to 5 foot semi-pendulous. I mean, the colors on that can just be unreal shades of lavender. Guys, that's a really cool tree too, but it does need some protection from the hot afternoon sun. A little bit of sunlight's gonna peak up that lavender color you're getting, that pink lavender, but you get unreal colors that you wouldn't think you could really get on a tree in your garden. Guys, as we're coming down through here, Meiku Jaku, the dancing peacock. That's an Acer japonicum selection with amazing fall color. It's got those deeply divided leaves on Acer japonicum. Everything's bigger in the japonicums. You get bigger blooms, you get bigger leaves, and you get some amazing fall colors that are yellows, oranges, and reds. I mean, that is an Acer japonicum selection, sometimes called Aconita folium. And these leaves can get quite large. These are 1 gallon, so the leaves aren't quite as big as they'll be on a tree outside in your landscape. But the texture this provides, I mean, that leaf right there looks like a peacock displaying its feathers. You hit that in fall color, and wham, that's gonna give you some dynamic things out there in the garden. Unique texture, big leaves, great fall color. Morning sun, afternoon shade in most climates is gonna give you the best growth rate on this, but we're growing in full sun here in Western North Carolina without a problem. Guys, tons of cool trees all in this greenhouse. Check out these 7 gallons coming up here on the left. Looks like we've got some 7 gallon Emperor ones right here. And those things got some great size to them. We do pickups at mrmaple.com. So if you want to purchase some of these trees as pickups, you know, contact our office staff. There's actually a pickup section on our website as well. We'll be adding a lot more items to that because trees actually grow and sometimes we can't ship them. But then guess what? We can list them for pickup here at Mr. Maple. So if you're local, you can come by, get some of these things and not have to pay that shipping costs because we are a mail order nursery primarily. Now, one of the more underrated plants in this greenhouse is right here. We're talking about Cornus, and this is Cornus moss saffron sentinel. Now, Cornelian cherry dogwoods, they bloom in this early spring with bright yellows. They're some of my favorite trees to see out there because they bloom before everything else in the early spring, before the maples are even leafed out. Typically, you got about 3 weeks once these things start blooming until most of the maples start to leaf out. And I mean, it's just phenomenal, just a bright yellow. Now they have a clustered bloom that's very different than a typical dogwood bloom. So it's not what you typically think of, that's on like a Cornus Cusa or Cornus Florida, but you get that nice clustered bloom. And what you've got here with Saffron Sentinel is a narrow growing selection. The biggest thing about many of these Cornus moss selections is they're often equally as tall as they are wide. And then these will actually be much narrower. We're talking about a 1/4 of the width as they are its height. So it fits in a lot of smaller spaces, but still gives you some of that nice spring interest. Cornus officinalis though, they produce Cornelian cherries that are tasty and delicious. So it's a fruit tree out there that has an ornamental appeal. Great fall color, and they actually develop a bark that's something almost to the kin of like a paper bark maple. So those are win-wins. We've got some good size 6 and 7 gallons of these on Mr. Maple. Check those out. I think you'll be impressed with Saffron Sentinel. Guys, a lot of cool plants. You see we've been packing down some of the houses, getting things ready to bring more trees in from our Buckholtz farm. There's a lot of cool trees in this greenhouse. Coming up here next, look at that color starting to pop off. That is Strawberry Spring. Now in the springtime, this is gonna have just some amazing pinks. We got some pink blushes on this right now, but this thing, if you check out mrmaple.com, can really have some amazing pinks in that early spring time frame. Good reticulated variegation, and sunlight, you can really start to get some lime colors. They really just start to shine. And you start to see that a little bit right here. And that lime just with a pink hint is pretty spectacular. Strawberry Spring selection by Talon Buckholtz, and it is dynamic in the landscape. That spring interest is a pink that you don't find on anything else. A great thing to pair that with is actually coming up right here. Now this is Waveleaf. Wave Leaf is a selection by Talon Buckholz that has a little bit of a glossy shine to it. There's actually some water right there. The glossy sheen is hard to capture on camera. It has this really nice leaf to it. In that purple ghost-like vein where you get some really nice lavender purples in this, some dark veining in there. But this was a chance seedling that Talon Buckholz had at his nursery. And he was thinking about selling it, and everyone started begging for it, and then he realized, hey, I should probably put a name on this. As the leaf gets a little more mature too, you start to get some nice waves in the leaf where it gets to the name of wave leaf. The leaf isn't flat. As a good example of that is sort of right there. We see that leaf turned a little bit. And this is going to be an 8 to 10 foot upright tree. And to me, it's one of the most showy purple ghost-like trees because the leaf is very refined and has that it factor when it comes to being a cultivar. There's many different cultivars in the trade that the leaf isn't as refined, and this one really has that nice refined leaf that just attracts you. If you have a lineup of all the purple ghost types and you walk up to this one, you'll often be attracted to this one first because that leaf just has that sort of a shiny, glossy sheen to it. Now guys, right here behind this, that is Acer Subuldianum Shoronusume, the claw of the dragon. And you see that with this crazy leaf here on the new growth and some of this older leaf. That is almost like a Linerlobum style for a Subuldianum. There's not another Subuldianum that has this unique leaf shape. And then check that out on some of this older growth too. I mean, that looks almost like one lobe out there on this newer growth. That is crazy. Very different. It's got that darker sort of emeraldy kind of green color to it. But Subuldianums are in section Palmata. They're from Japan. They're really beautiful. And there's not that many cultivars of them. So you can actually collect almost all the cultivars of these if that's your goal. Really nice upright tree. Goes to nice yellows and oranges in the fall. Compact form, which is nice as well. So a tree that's underrated, you need to be growing. And guys, speaking of an underrated tree, check out right here. This is Acer Palmatum Black Lace. Now I'm falling in love with this tree more and more. Black lace, serrated foliage, almost black colors on the leaves. That is outstanding. And the more you see these larger trees, these are some of our XL 1 gallons. The more you see these trees out there, the more you're gonna like this. That leaf is just so refined. And then you also get that deep dark burgundy color almost all summer long. You know, we've seen some large specimens of these at Buckholz Nursery late in the summer in August. They get super hot and they're dry during the summer, and it held this color real well out there. Really impressed at what black lace can do. Gives you good color contrast. Guys, this is an upright that's very vigorous. We're talking 10 foot in 10 years and gives you some nice colors. Think of a burgundy lace that's more upright, more vigorous, more heat tolerant, and more black red. That's what makes this thing really stand out. Y'all, that is greenhouse 29. There's a ton of plants in here. Each of our greenhouses have hundreds and hundreds of Japanese maples in them. There's actually close to 5,000 plants in at least every greenhouse, which means there's tons of cool plants and tons of varieties. I couldn't possibly talk about every plant in here, but I hope you enjoyed today's walkthrough on greenhouse 29 here on the Maple Mafia channel. If you like this type of content, share this video with your gardening friends. Make sure you're subscribed here and also over on our Mr. Maple show. Y'all take care, God bless, and have a great day.